Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be everything that you need before you get a hamster. The first thing that you need for a hamster is obviously a cage. Keep in mind, you want to get something that's at least 450 square inches of floor space. I actually recommend even larger. I recommend 600 square inches for dwarfs and 1,000 square inches for Syrians. Any of the cages in the pet store, such as Tiny Tails and Critter Trails, are not suitable for any animal. I'd recommend getting at least a 40-gallon aquarium, at least a 110-quart bin cage, or you can go online and get large barred cages. Here I have a 110-quart bin cage, and at the top is just a cooling tray for baking, but you can also use wire mesh, and that is just for the ventilation. This cage has around 450 square inches of floor space, which is around the minimum. Wide cages are also a great option if you want to get something very large. Here are some examples of very small and unsuitable cages for hamsters. The next thing that you're going to need is bedding because hamsters are burrowers. I recommend putting at least 6 inches for dwarfs and 10 inches for Syrians so that it can make tunnels and burrows. You're going to want to use a safe substrate such as aspen wood shavings, paper-based bedding, or hemp shavings. You don't want to use anything like scented bedding, pine shavings, cedar shavings, or anything that's labeled softwood shavings because they are unsafe for small animals. Next, you're going to need a wheel for your hamster. I recommend using at least a 10 to 12 inch wheel for Syrian hamsters and Chinese hamsters, and at least a 6 to 8 inch wheel for dwarf hamsters. You want to make sure you're using the proper size wheel for the species of hamster you have, because if their back is arching, that can cause back problems. You also want to make sure that you're using a solid running surface and nothing like a wire or mesh wheel, because that can cause bumblefoot and your hamster's toes and fingers can get stuck. The next thing you'll need for a hamster is a seed mix. I don't recommend using anything like oxbow or any other pellets because they have no variety, and oxbow is fiber-based and it is a herbivore diet, and hamsters are omnivores. I also recommend using a high-quality seed mix that has lots of variety. Here I'm using Sunseed Sensations hamster and gerbil food mixed with a 2.3 ounce bag of Pure Bites chicken, as well as 50 grams of sunflower seeds. I need to add the sunflower seeds and the chicken for protein and fat because usually seed mixes don't have the right nutrition requirements hamsters. If you don't choose to scatter feed your hamster, you're going to need a food dish. Here I have a stainless steel food dish, a pink plastic food dish, and a small terracotta saucer, which also works great if you're doing a naturalistic enclosure. The next thing you need for your hamster is some type of water source. I recommend using a water dish or a water bottle. Both work great. If you choose to use a water bottle, you should definitely check the spout every day to make sure water is coming out easily. I'd also recommend getting one with the spout pointing straight like the one shown and not pointing downwards, because that can cause your hamster to drink at an awkward angle, which is bad for their neck. Here I just have a small size pink igloo as well as a Living World dome house that is green. I definitely recommend having a hideout in the cage, or even more than one, because it gives your hamster somewhere to go to feel safe and secure. Hamsters' teeth are continuously growing, so they need wooden chews to gnaw on. My hamster really loves these Living World branch chews, and that's why I mostly use these. I recommend trying out a variety of chews to see which ones your hamster likes best. Of course, you're going to need toys for your hamster. Here I just have a puzzle playground, a bendable bridge, and a Tiny Tails seesaw tube. For your hamster, you're going to need some kind of cleaning solution. Here I simply have a mixture of 50% water and 50% vinegar. This works great for cleaning out my hamster's cage. If you want to be able to free roam your hamster, you're going to need a playpen. This is just a playpen I got off of Amazon, and it works great for my hamsters. This is optional, but if you'd like to have the ability to weigh your hamster, you can get a kitchen scale. I'd highly recommend to have one of these because you can notice any sudden weight gain or weight loss in your hamster, and if that happens, you should take them to the vet to see what's wrong. This is also optional, and I also don't have one here to show you guys, but you can also get a travel carrier if you don't want to use the cardboard box you get when you take your hamster home. These are also good if you need to take your hamster to the vet. If your hamster's like my hamster and they're not a big chewer, Then you can also use a cardboard box, and that's what I use. Before you get any pet, you're definitely going to need a vet fund because anything can happen and you're going to need to pay for vet bills if your hamster becomes ill. The last thing you need for your hamster is definitely patience. Hamsters require a lot of patience, and especially when you're taming them, it can get really hard and you need to be really patient with them. Thank you for watching. Bye!